From winning the World Series of Poker Main Event an incredible 3 times to the largest strip poker tournament in history, here are 8 poker records that will never be broken. Number 1. Youngest ever WSOP Main Event winner. Imagine going to Las Vegas and finally being old enough to buy your first beer.
Hello, Mindy.
Oh, and casually winning the most prestigious event in poker for $8.5 million. Well, that's exactly what Joe Catter did in the summer of 2009. At just 21 years, 11 months, and 21 days old, Catter navigated through a massive field of 6,494 players and broke the record for youngest player to ever win the main event. A record that was just set by Peter Eastgate the year before, when he won the 2008 main event at just 22 years, 10 months old. When the final table was reached, Catter was one of the least experienced players remaining. But none of that would matter because he was about to go on one of the craziest final table runs ever witnessed and prove why, in poker, it's better to be lucky than good.
The river card is a 7. Joe Catter doubles up. Shulman's pocket jacks, a 4-1 favorite to knock out Joe Catter with his pocket trays. And here's the flop. Oh, and there's a tray for Catter. Joe Catter with pocket deuces in the small blind, looking to raise it up. Saud with a re-raise to $5 3/4 million.
Come on.
All in.
And he moves all in.
Carter.
Antoine does make the call to Bacata at risk. Here's the flop. Oh! A deuce for Cata. He gets the set.
Who's been through 12 tough rounds.
Raised to $2.5 million.
Already. Call.
Now the flop. 5-4-5, no immediate help for Cata. Turn card is a 10, and now the river card. That did not just happen. Joe with pocket nines, and a standard raise now to $3 million. Darvin Moon, queen jack of diamonds. He will make it $8 million to stick around.
Small one.
Call.
And Darvin makes the call, and here is the flop. 8-7, and now the turn card. It's a king. That's the only pate Darvin doesn't have.
On day 3, Cata jokingly told Peter Eastgate he would break his record. Now he's 1 card away from doing it. Darvin Moon needs a queen or a jack, or Joe Cata will be the main event champ.
And that 7 will end it. Joe Cata rewrites poker history, becoming the youngest main event champ ever.
21 years, 11 months, 21 days old.
Number 2. Most WSOP Main Event bracelets. This unbreakable record takes us back to the days when mobile phones were the size of bricks. However, at that time, it was the arrival of a young poker prodigy that had everyone in the poker scene talking. His name? Stu Ungar. Arguably the greatest poker player of all time, Ungar had an exceptional ability to read opponents. This was attributed to his genius-level IQ and an extraordinary photographic memory that turned him into a legend in the world of gambling. Between the years of 1980 to 1997, Ungar cemented his legacy and made poker history by winning the World Series of Poker Main Event not once, not twice, but 3 times. A feat that no other player in the history of poker has been able to achieve. And given the large number of players that the main event attracts today versus back in Stu Ungar's era, this is one record that we can confidently say will never be broken. Number 3. Most WSOP bracelets. In poker, WSOP bracelets are more than just fancy jewelry. They are like infinity stones, and Phil Hellmuth has collected so many that some consider him to be the Thanos of poker.
What?
Okay. Maybe not Thanos, but he is considered a legend in the game. With having won an astonishing 17 WSOP bracelets, Hellmuth currently holds the record for most bracelets won and has a comfortable 7 bracelet lead between him and the 4 players tied for second. As the level of competition in poker continues to rise, this record is not just a testament to his skill, but also a testament to the enduring challenge it poses for aspiring players. And although Hellmuth is one of poker's most polarizing figures, we must recognize poker greatness and give credit when it's due. So, whether you love him or hate him, we can't help but acknowledge this extraordinary achievement. And given his 7 bracelet lead and no signs of retiring anytime soon, it's a record that will be very difficult to break. Number 4. Biggest cash in tournament poker. Have you ever dreamed about winning so much money that you wouldn't know what to do with it? Well, that dream became a reality for Bren Kenney in 2019 during the Triton Million for Charity tournament in London. 54 people paid the hefty $1 million tournament entry fee, plus an extra $50,000 for charity, generating a $65 million prize pool with $20 million US going to first place and $2.7 million going to charities worldwide. At the final table, all gloves were off for Kenney, who came out swinging. He started knocking out everybody, like Bill Perkins, Vivek Rajkumar, Stephen Chidwick, Dan Smith. Kenney was a menace to society and couldn't be stopped. He managed to eliminate 4 of his 5 opponents before getting heads up with Aaron Zhang. But his luck ran out when he called Zhang's 3-bet shove with an ace-high flush draw.
Call from Bren Kenney here with the nut flush draw. Can Bren Kenney double back into the chip lead? The turn says no. And a king on the end seals.
The river bricked and Kenney was eliminated in second place. However, before heads-up play began, both players agreed to an unknown deal that resulted in Kenney receiving the bigger payout of $20.5 million US and Zhang receiving $16.7 million. So, although Zhang won the trophy, Kenney made poker history by setting the all-time record for the biggest tournament cash ever. Number 5. Longest continuous poker tournament. In 2013, the Asian Poker Tour decided to test the limits of human stamina by orchestrating an Iron Man poker challenge that unfolded into the longest continuous poker tournament ever witnessed. This was a record-breaking event, not just because of its duration, but also due to its unique structure and intense competition. The tournament was specifically designed to be a test of endurance, mirroring a trend in extreme challenges like CrossFit and Tough Mudder. This was reflected in the tournament's rules, which included no scheduled breaks, no final table deals or chops, and continued play until a winner was determined. The starting stack in this tournament was a whopping 2,000 big blinds, as players were given 100,000 in chips in the first 1-hour blind level. As the tournament progressed, the levels were extended, moving from 1-hour levels to 2-hour levels after the 10th round in order to extend the gameplay as much as possible. A total of 115 players paid the $700 tournament entry fee, generating a total prize pool of $71,400. After a grueling 48 hours, 55 minutes, and 58 seconds of continuous play, Damon Schulenberger was crowned the winner, walking away with the $18,240 first place prize and helping the Asian Poker Tour set a new world record. But if you thought this tournament was long, wait until you see this cash game record next. Number 6. Longest continuous poker cash game. In the dusty corners of Tombstone, Arizona, is a place called the Birdcage Theater, a relic from the Wild West era that not only holds the record for the longest continuous poker cash game ever played, but also is said to be one of the most haunted places in America today. From 1881 to 1889, the Birdcage Theater was a saloon and gambling hall that was home to an unrelenting poker game that ran continuously day and night for an astounding 8 years, 5 months, and 3 days. With a minimum buy-in of $1,000, it's said that around $1 million changed hands during the game's play. Players from all walks of life, from cowboys to prospectors, found themselves drawn to the Birdcage's poker table, as well as the saloon's upstairs brothel. Even legendary figures in the Wild West, such as Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, pulled up a seat to this poker table. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to play poker against one of the fastest gunmen in the West. It's no wonder why this place witnessed 16 gunfights, 26 murders, and over 140 bullet holes that you can still see throughout the building to this day. It also explains why this place is so haunted. Paranormal experts claim that you can still hear the saloon echo with the shuffling of cards, the clinking of chips, and the voices of cowboys being whispered throughout the iconic theater. Whether that's true or not, one thing that is certain is that the Birdcage Theater hosted a poker game that defied the boundaries of time and etched its legacy into the poker history books forever. Number 7. Largest strip poker tournament. Imagine playing in a poker tournament where losing your chips could also mean losing your shirt. Literally. That's exactly what happened at the 2006 Irish Poker Open in London, where 196 participants gathered to break the record for the largest strip poker tournament ever held. The event was organised by the Irish bookmaker Paddy Power, who decided to mix the classic game of poker with a cheeky surprise. Participants played the game of poker where the standard rules applied, but with an added twist. Instead of betting money, players wagered articles of clothing. This meant that players who ran out of chips had to remove an item of clothing to continue playing. Eventually, the tournament got down to the final 2 players, but in the end, it was John Young who emerged as the champion, winning the historical trophy and walking away with his underwear and the $10,000 first place prize. However, nothing could prepare anyone for what he was about to do.
For charity. Yeah! We're going streaky! Yeah! Woo! Woo! We're streaky! We're streaky! Woo! Woo!
Number 8. Biggest loser in online poker. In the world of online poker, for every winner, there's someone on the other end of the spectrum. And from November 2012 to November 2015, that person was Gus Hansen. During his full tilt online poker days, Hansen went on a $17 million downswing, which reportedly brought his total online career losses to a staggering $22 million. This record is not celebrated, but serves as a cautionary tale about the high stakes and high risks of the game. You have to know when to call it quits, or else you might end up making poker history for the wrong thing. When it comes to breaking records, it's not just about the cards, the money, or the fame. They're about doing something that's never been done and making history. So if you enjoyed this video and want to help us make poker history, then click and watch this video right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe.